When you make all the numbers add up and find a way to help clients save money or see a larger refund, you're going to gain a sense of personal fulfillment that you might not get from other jobs. Welcome to the Taxverse podcast experience from CrossLink Professional Tax Solutions. I'm your host, Zach Price. Thank you for joining us for the inaugural episode of this podcast. During the podcast, you may experience solo hosted episodes like we have today, or interview-based episodes with community leaders across the industry. Our goal for this podcast is to provide as much value to our community as humanly possible and help tax professionals across the industry grow their community, generate more revenue, and expand their knowledge. Again, we thank you for the listen and make sure you follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss the top 3 reasons why you should become a tax professional. Before I start, I wanted to give you a little background into my life. I have worked in the tax industry for 15 years. I started preparing individual tax returns in 2009 for my father-in-law's CPA firm and was able to learn a lot from those experiences. Also, during that time, I worked for a service bureau that provided software, training, and customer support for different clients across the United States. Throughout these years, I was able to gain a tremendous amount of knowledge and experience, and hopefully I can share some of that with you during our journey together in this podcast series. But enough about me, let's get into the episode. This episode may not prompt you to quit your day job, but if you are someone that is interested in taxes or looking to generate some additional revenue opportunities, this may be something that can provide some insights into why you would want to start a tax professional career. Today, I have 3 reasons why becoming a tax professional can benefit your life if you decide to make the leap. The first reason is simply the luxury of working remotely and setting your schedule. According to an article published by FindStack, 16% of companies globally are fully remote. And since 2009, the number of people who work from home has increased by 159%. In the US today, 58.6% of the total workforce are remote workers. This number has skyrocketed since the pandemic in 2020, and more employees, entrepreneurs are opening their offices to their personal residence. If you decide to become your own solo act and begin the journey of becoming a tax professional, just know that most tax professionals create their own schedules throughout the season. And with the overwhelming emergence of cloud-based tax preparation software and applications, tax preparation has become more flexible than in years past. This gives tax professionals the balance they need in their daily life to live out other ambitions they may have or just spend more time with the family. What work schedule do you prefer? Let us know by leaving a comment on our YouTube channel. The second reason is profitability. Becoming a tax professional doesn't require much of any startup costs. The only things you need to get started are an EFIN, a PTIN, and some basic understanding of tax forms. Obviously, over time, you will want to gain a certain level of knowledge to maintain the skills needed to provide a great service to your community and the customer base. A PTIN and EFIN can all be obtained online at irs.gov by using the online application process, which is pretty straightforward. I will say, give yourself enough time to get approved for an EFIN, since that will take around 45 days to process. I will leave a link in the show notes on how to obtain these numbers, so make sure you check those out. According to Indeed.com, the average annual salary for a tax professional in the United States is $45,928. Now remember, since you're becoming a tax professional and most likely going to be owning and operating it as your own business, you get to set the prices for your services, which is obviously another perk. Just remember that the industry is very competitive, so do your research on the surrounding areas for average prep fees before setting them in stone. Building your clientele is going to be important for your business, and setting your prices high when starting out can provide more of a roadblock to your progression until you build enough experience and trust in the community to start adding to your costs of services. The third and final reason you should become a tax professional is to help others. In fiscal year 2021, the IRS processed more than 261 million federal tax returns. This is a large pond to dip your toes in. I only say this because the number shows how many people are out there that need your services each year. Tax professionals each year work hard to gain knowledge of any legislation that has passed and stay up to date on the tax code so that their customers don't have to worry about it. Tax professionals should be trusted sources of knowledge. This will come with experience, and over time, if you do it correctly, you will become that source of truth for your customers. The IRS is allocating more funding each year to enforcement agents to help crack down on tax evaders. This also goes for individuals who file on their own. You have the opportunity to serve a wide community of people to help them remain safe from large balance dues, penalties, or any other dangerous tax situations. I worked for a CPA firm for about 5 years before I started my new career here. And I can tell you from experience, when you make all the numbers add up and find a way to help clients save money or see a larger refund, you're going to gain a sense of personal fulfillment that you might not get from other jobs. If you spend enough time serving others, you'll find that it's worth its weight in gold. If you think becoming a tax professional is something you want to try out, don't hesitate to reach out to us by visiting our website at crosslinktax.com or by calling our team at 800-345-4337. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. I hope you've found some value in today's episode. Remember to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts and tell your friends about us. This concludes our journey of this episode of the Taxverse Podcast Experience. I'm your host, Zach Kreitz. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next one.